Hi, good afternoon. My name is Cabin Girl, and I'm here with our first installment of Darth's Date Night Movie Reviews. Now, this might not be a typical movie review video that you're used to, but we hope you enjoy it nonetheless.
I'm going to need you to take this serious, okay?
Well, I'm trying to, but I thought it was going to be a series. I thought
It is.
Why are you? Okay, well, let's just get to it. Okay, what are you going to talk about?
Your hair looks beautiful.
Okay,
I'm jealous of your hair.
this is supposed to be a movie review.
Oh. So, you know what really gets my crawl?
Do tell, Darth.
I really don't like Rotten Tomatoes.
Nor do I. They smell.
The movie site, Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
It seems like every time that they give a movie a bad review, I go and watch said movie and love it. So, I don't trust them anymore.
Right?
Now, right now we're starting with a movie that we may or may not agree with. We'll let you know at the end. We're going to replace Rotten Tomatoes with burnt popcorn or...
Buttery popcorn.
Yeah, English teacher. I was going to say buttered. She said buttery because it's probably like the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable or something like that.
But I don't know that. It could be buttered popcorn.
Well, burnt or not burnt?
I do like buttery though.
Buttery it is.
Buttery popcorn.
So, anyway, starting out with this one. This movie we're getting ready to talk about got mixed reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
Very mixed. Almost like down the middle mixed.
Yes.
You want to go over what you found there?
Sure. Rotten Tomatoes said that this movie had a score of 55%. And on the Rotten Tomatoes score, anything below 60% is rotten. So this movie got 55. Despite the fact that it had a 65% audience score, Rotten Tomatoes still said rotten.
Boom! Shakalaka. Serious. Take it serious.
Okay, so if I tell the next part, it's going to tell the name and who's in it.
Let's just go ahead and reveal it.
Okay,
We're just winging it. Anyway, this is, I don't know if you could tell or not, but this is not your typical movie review thing. So we're just going to do our own thing.
So this is verbatim what Rotten Tomatoes has said. This is the overarching review. An arch thriller given some grounding by Josh Hartnett's committed performance. Shyamalan's Trap
He's hot.
will ensnare those who appreciated its tongue-in-cheek style, while the rest will be eager to wriggle out of it.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
What she said.
That's what Rotten Tomatoes said. I didn't say that.
But
I'm just telling you what they
say
said.
that.
Oh my God. So, do we want to go into this movie and talk about how maybe a lot of the reviews we saw were just a little misleading in our opinion?
Okay, before we hop into the movie too, I want to throw in this little caveat. If you are afraid, you didn't know I knew that word, did you?
Caveat? That was nice.
If you're afraid that you're going to get spoilers, we're going to save the spoilers until maybe toward the end of this video, so you can watch. We'll actually give you a good heads up. We'll say, okay, spoilers coming up. So for now, keep watching. You're good. Because I'm just going to tell you something right now. You've seen the preview to the movie
Trap by M. Night Shyamalan.
There you go. Boom, revealed. If you've seen the preview, I mean the trailer, in the first minute and a half, ever how long that trailer lasts, you know Josh Hartnett's a bad guy. I mean, he's a bad dude. Mm-hmm. It's no secret. You know going into it, and you're like, really, Josh Hartnett? Mm-hmm. The sweetheart of Pearl Harbor?
Right.
Who stole America's hearts?
Right.
And Ben Affleck's girlfriend, to boot?
Right.
Fiance, even, and had a baby with her,
Right.
you know? And,
yeah.
Okay, we're going down a rabbit hole here. But Josh Hartnett, the sweetheart? I mean, you just look into those gorgeous eyes and melt, you know.
Do you?
Women do.
Oh.
I'm securing my manhood here.
Okay. So, I don't think this is going to be a spoiler, but I think it's safe to say that when the movie begins, I actually looked over to Darth and I said, I think maybe they're trying to get us to believe that he wasn't the killer. Because who wants to believe that Josh Hartnett is a psychopath?
Right.
I don't want to believe that.
Listen, I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, Josh Hartnett is a great actor.
Indeed.
Now, maybe that doesn't factor into Rotten Tomatoes criteria or whatever, but movie aside, the dude can go from Father of the Year to I'm going to butcher you up and hang your stuff up on a wall and eat off from it slowly, occasionally, from time to time. You know, maybe eat some of it raw.
Okay.
Actually, now that we're going down that road,
Can we just say there's no cannibalism in this movie?
that's what I was getting ready to say.
Oh, look at that.
This movie, even though you know, and for those of y'all that don't know, still not a spoiler, this was the idea of this was actually based on a real life event that happened back in 1985. Now you can research that yourself, but the idea, I mean, it's based typically on
Operation Flagship.
Yes, Operation Flagship. I totally knew the name and was letting her say it. But basically, back then, what they did was, do you have details on that?
They invited folks to a football game.
Roughly 3,000.
It was a football game, so that was a little bit different.
So Operation Flagship is not what happened in this movie.
Right.
I just want to state that. But something very similar. They changed venues. It's a football game there. In the movie, it's basically, it is exactly what happened in 1985, but none of it happened. So, another way to say that would be, he got the idea from a football game where they had profiled. There was this killer.
Right.
The butcher was
True story.
even his nickname
Right.
back then. So it's his nickname in this movie as well. So basically, they got this profiler, this really smart person to come in, who's played by
Haley Mills. She plays Dr. Grant of the FBI. Remember Haley Mills? She was the mother in Parent Trap. And so it is a little disconcerting to see her play such a serious role, but she did a really good job. I did my research.
I knew that. Basically, to catch the butcher, what they did was they profiled him and basically said, we're going to give out free tickets to the community. But they sent them to all the people that fit the profile of the butcher to lure him in, because evidently the people that he targeted, they knew he would come to that game. So in this movie, they swap all that out. It's actually a concert, and was it Lady Raven?
It was Lady
Is
Raven.
played by hit him with it.
Salika Shyamalan, who is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter and who is actually a recording artist.
Can you pronounce that again?
I was really hoping you wouldn't ask me because I felt like I kind of went through it. And
Seriously, I would.
Salika Shyamalan.
So now we know why they called it Lady Raven in the movie, because I'm not even what she said. So they go to Lady Raven's concert.
And so Josh Hartnett, his character Cooper, who is the butcher, his daughter loves. We could compare it today to maybe Swifties. His daughter was a Swiftie, except she's a Lady Raven, whatever you might want to call that. Wins the ticket. So again, seems like Father of the Year. And while he's there, he begins. Should we say spoiler alert? Are we to that point?
Okay. Well, I mean, this is all in the previews, though. Are you talking about where he whips the phone out and the guy tells him?
Oh yeah.
That's all in the previews. Everything that we're talking about. The only possible spoiler alert will be when we get to the end.
Okay. Yeah, because that is true.
Yeah.
The previews pretty much show it. Father of the Year goes to get his daughter a T-shirt, and while he's there, he finagled his way into talking to Jamie. That's
You use some words that I use on stream.
oh
On
god.
my fishing, I do the angle.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So Jamie says, "Oh, you seem like a really trustworthy guy. I can
Because
tell
it's
you."
Josh Hartnett.
Right? Who's not going to believe?
Who
Josh
doesn't
Hartnett?
trust Josh Hartnett?
Right?
I would give him my bank account right now.
Please don't.
He would be disappointed.
Right?
but, yeah,
Maybe he could give us his.
I wouldn't be disappointed in that.
But his daughter Riley, she hangs out. She stays in the concert, and her dad keeps running back and forth because what he notices is this huge police presence. Now, they do an excellent job. There was an article by Caroline Madden where she said one of her biggest problems with the movie was that the concert just wasn't real.
Okay. Back up.
Right?
I'm sitting there the whole time whispering at my wife saying, she good.
Right?
Like, she good.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go buy her album. She good.
I mean, almost the entire movie is based during a concert. You have a huge stadium full of these teeny boppers who, they're in love with Lady Raven. And you can see their emotion. They know the songs.
I liked it better in George Strait concert.
What? Wait. What?
I was just trying to see what your reaction would be. She's in love with an 80-year-old man. I just wanted to throw that in there somehow. I actually didn't like it as good as a George Strait concert. But they did an awesome job convincing you that this was a real concert. And I don't understand just another reason to not... Me and Rotten Tomatoes were done.
Well, this wasn't Rotten Tomatoes. This was just another article I read. Because
we're done. I'm not going to read that article that she mentioned the name of a few minutes ago, and I totally know. I'm not reading it again.
But part of the reason why she said it didn't feel like a real life concert was things like, there were no bodyguards. There was no way that this little girl would get to go on stage with her. It's a movie.
And they personally escorted her
Right.
up on stage.
Yes.
Security
And why
everywhere.
did they do that? Because Josh Hartnett was convincing.
And maybe the fact that there was like 10,000 police officers there too.
Right?
Just saying.
So all this hate on this movie, we just don't get.
I don't get it.
And here's something else. For me personally, I am not big on profanity. Especially as an English teacher. I feel like that you can use many other words, right?
Right.
And so, thankfully, even though I don't like it at all, it only uses the F word like one time, and
This leads into something else. Somehow or another I got sidetracked. I don't know. Squirrel. But earlier we were talking about the butcher stuff, and I got a little excited, with the body parts hanging and stuff. You actually don't see any blood or gore in this at all.
oh yeah, there is violence.
But it's implied violence.
Right.
Like it's like they talk about, they might show some pictures, but they're covered up with cloths, and you know what happened, but it don't show him stabbing people.
There is that one scene, and I won't say it, but when you find out for sure, because I was still, I'm
This
not
toward the
gonna-
end?
No, this is toward the beginning. When I was like, okay, maybe the previews led us to believe he was a bad guy.
Oh, you talking about the stair thing?
Yes.
Yeah, well, he
That's
still
when we
didn't.
knew.
He didn't stab her though. He just shoved her down the stairs.
He shoved an old lady down the stairs.
Well, it was.
And I was like, no, not Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, we knew at that point. Like,
he
I mean,
is
you
the
know,
bad
in the
guy.
previews, but it gives you a little bit of hope. Like, maybe he's not.
Because he looks like an awesome dad.
Yeah.
Working hard, has his
Working it.
9 to 5,
Working it.
goes and picks up his little girl, and she's so excited that she gets to go to the movie with her daddy, and then he's a psycho.
And he can turn psycho like that.
Absolutely.
And you could see it in his eyes. It's like a
Oh.
light switch. And I'm like,
Yes.
Josh Hart, that's a good Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett.
Just like that.
It was very disturbing,
Great actor.
but in a good way, because he's a great actor.
All right, now we're going to jump to a part where we I'm going to talk about, we'll both kind of talk about our favorite scenes in the movie. And so, spoiler alert, some of this, you know, you'll see it for yourself. But some of my favorite scenes in this is, it's hard to pinpoint one, but he finds out, you know, when he finds out that it's a trap, he starts showing how smart he is. So he does several things, and I'm not going to not going to spoil all that. But at one point, I don't know if you remember this, but he winds up backstage because him and his T-shirt buddy there we talked about earlier, he somehow swipes the card off from him and says, he can get in there. Anyway, he's backstage and he stumbles into this room, and it's like they're having this big FBI security meeting.
Yes.
And his eyes, you can just see like, oh, what have I stumbled in here? But it ain't for the reason you think. You think like, oh God, he's gonna get out of there. He's busted. Nah. He walks right through the middle of them. Excuse me.
You need sugar for your coffee?
Yeah,
Here you go.
And he didn't even know where the sugar was, and just reaches down and he's like, yeah, here, use my sugar. Use my personal stash of sugar. First time I've been in this room, but here, use my personal stash of sugar. Just cool. Cool.
Cool, like a cocoon.
As a cucumber.
Right.
Doesn't bat an eye. And you know right then he's in it for the game. Like he is, it's a game to him.
Like his sociopathic tendencies really come out in that scene.
Yes.
One thing that was super stressful for me is when Jamie helps Cooper go down, I guess to the basement because he needs one certain size of t-shirt, and Jamie's like, come on down with me, I'll get it. And while they're down there, you just know. You get that feeling that, oh my gosh, Josh Hartnett's getting ready to kill this guy. Not Josh Hartnett, but Cooper is getting ready to kill this guy after he's helped him. It's just very stressful to me, but he didn't. And so we made it.
Okay. Least favorite scene for me, spoiler alert. Okay? The ending.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm talking about the ending. Like, after he's in handcuffs.
Right.
He walks out, and he's still, like, telling his daughter, who comes up and hugs him, even though he's been handcuffed for being the butcher.
Right.
Comes up and hugs him because that's her daddy, you know, and the son and everything. He's telling her not to worry about the bullies at school, and son, do your homework, turn that in. Like, he snaps right back into dad mode.
Yeah.
And so you think
Scary.
that for a second, that compartmentalized in his brain is some type of caring, like, oh, he really does love him, and he just snaps into this psychopath on a whim.
Right.
So he bends down and picks the bike up. Remember? It was
Yes.
tossed over on the side.
Yeah.
And you're thinking that he loves his daughter so much he wants the bike to be setting up. Then when he gets in the ambulance, you notice that he has torn a spoke off the wheel, and he picks his handcuffs. And he gets this big evil smile, so you know that he is getting ready to escape.
Yep.
And it's like, you know, we love Josh Hartnett, but I don't want him. You know, he's a butcher at that point.
He needs
I
to
don't
be
want him to.
incarcerated.
I don't want him to escape. So
No.
I didn't like that ending
That's true.
in particular.
That's true.
That's mine. What about you?
I can see that for sure. I think he leaves his daughter multiple times. You know, we were talking about the reliability of...
He is the butcher.
He is the butcher. But just as a parent with a teenager, I wouldn't want to leave my child.
Unless you were the butcher.
So I wasn't a big fan of
At some point, you lose your morality. At first, he was like telling her, now, don't move.
Right.
The first time he left. So you can see this gradual decline going from daddy to monster.
Yes.
Right? But I want to add that. M. Night Shyamalan movie. No actual monsters in it.
One creepy moment.
Well, there's creepiness because it's M. Night Shyamalan.
Well, there were two creepy moments with Cooper's mother.
Well, yeah. The
That
memory.
that was creepy.
Or maybe he thought he saw her, but...
Yeah.
But she's still a person. It's not a monster with horns or anything like
Right,
that.
it was just creepy.
And I was just going to say, this is about as close to a scary movie as you can get that you can actually take your family to. Like Cabin Girl said, there's hardly any bad language in it at all. I mean, There must be some rule out there, some unwritten rule we don't know of that says you must say at least one F word in this movie or something. I don't know why they do that, but overall, pretty good language in this movie. Not very gory at all. I mean, it's implied.
Well, and can we also just brag on his daughter?
Yes, talented daughter. Don't be surprised if she actually doesn't put out a hit here and there.
Not just a hit, be in another movie.
Yes.
I had no clue that she was going to play such a huge role.
Oh, yeah. She's the hero.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. She's the hero. You know what I'm saying?
But I just thought that was super cool because it showed her, you know, yes, Josh Hartnett's character Cooper was super, super smart, super sly. Listen, Lady Raven.
You're hot.
Lady Raven was pretty smart herself. Would you stop? Lady Raven was awesome.
I'll edit that out.
Thanks. But Lady Raven was super smooth because she was able to steal the phone, run in the bathroom, and call the cops. No, she didn't call the cops. She went live. Use social media to go live and say, if you know where this house is, there's a guy in there tied up. You need to go save him because he's about to die.
Exactly. If you live in LA and there is a house that has a blue door, and they found him just like that, because that's all you got to say, you know?
There was a little bit more detail than that, but she did awesome. Great actress. Bravo.
Something about a broken statue head or something. So yeah.
But you know, M. Night Shyamalan, his daughter, you know, very talented family. You know, fact, his mom and dad, they actually produced his second movie.
Yeah.
So family is super important to him, and we see this, you know, by him starring his daughter, giving her a huge boost in her career.
Yeah. So to sum things up, because we don't want to go too long, but to sum things up, you know he's the bad guy from the start. You know it from the previews of the movie, so we haven't really given away a lot of spoilers. You know he's got to figure out how to get out of the arena, so we haven't really told you how he gets out. We've just kind of given you some hints.
We did tell you how the movie ended.
Yeah, but we don't really tell you how he gets out of the arena.
That's true,
you know?
And that was very sly.
Yes, it's super sly for a butcher guy. So I don't know where this stuff comes from, but anyway, very important, there is not like a Marvel after credit scene, not like sitting there for 37 minutes watching like fine print roll down slowly as you gain years of age, waiting for something that even at the end of the Spider-Man one, when he says, oh, you waited this time for nothing, sorry. And then you just want to stab someone and become the butcher? Okay. You don't have to wait that long. But it's just like maybe a minute, 2 minutes. You think the movie's over, like as soon as we got up, before we could literally take 2 or 3 steps, after the credits started rolling, there's a cut scene. And it's a funny one. It's a good one that you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
So you make sure you watch it. Okay, let's score this thing. I'm going to go ahead and break the ice here.
Okay.
I don't know if they could tell from our tone or not.
I don't think,
But I'm giving it a buttered popcorn.
I'm also giving it a buttered popcorn. Might be close to even throwing in a box of M&Ms.
2 buttered popcorns and a box of M&Ms.
There you go.
2 boxes. 2 buttered popcorns, 2 boxes of M&Ms.
You know you're going to have salty and sweet.
Yes. So, yeah. There we go. It's great. Go watch it.
Enjoy.
Bring your kids. Family time. Family murder night. You know, The Butcher. Take your family to go see The Butcher.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed our first installment of Darth's Date Night Movie Reviews.
Thanks for having me, dear.
Anytime, Darth.
We'll catch you in the next one.